What's up guys, Chocolate Milk here, and today I'm going to talk to you about a recent This Week at Bungie post for Destiny 2. And the first thing they bring up is Iron Banner. Iron Banner will be returning Tuesday, January 30th. The game we'll be playing is Control, and that's pretty cool. Lots of people like Control. It's a fun game. Then they show us the weapons that we can, look to earn next week in the Iron Banner. And the first is a Hake hand cannon, followed by a Viced scout rifle, and followed that with a Suros shotgun. All three look pretty cool. And then they end that with, a picture of a sparrow, a ghost shell, and a Iron Banner emblem. And that's all pretty cool. And they also give a little hint of an Iron Banner ship, but they said that, quote, "we'll save that for when you discover it yourself." I like that. New ship, new sparrow, new ghost. Pretty cool. It's good thing so far. Then they give us a quick little glimpse of how Saladin's going to look. He essentially looks like all the other vendors, being, Zavala and Shaxx. They have their token redemption, your faction rewards, which is essentially just the armor. Then you can earn the armor ornaments, and then he has got the 3 featured weapons of the week, which I'm assuming you have to win so many Iron Banner matches, get so many kills, blah blah blah, and then you can earn the featured weapons. Then they start talking to us about Masterwork armor. Now, Masterwork armor has been a very interesting thing and something that a lot of us Destiny players have been looking forward to seeing exactly what it is, and they kind of tell us what the benefits are. And so they say that each armor piece will grant a 3% damage resistance while using a super. You can stack that for a 15% damage reduction if you have a full set of Masterwork armor. They say that Masterwork armor can be reworked to a different stat package, whether that being heavy, light, or restorative, for 1 Masterwork core and 10 legendary shards. Now that's pretty cool, seeing as you have to reroll right now for 3 Masterwork cores, and to make 1 weapon a Masterwork, you have to use 10 Masterwork cores, so it's a little bit of a grind. I like that they made it a little bit cheaper. And one thing that I really liked about this post was that they made a point to mention a bug right now where if you quickly try to rework an armor set, it'll appear to rework the same stats, and it doesn't actually take away your materials, and it doesn't actually do anything. So that's cool on that end, but on the same time there's a bug. But I'm very glad that they actually brought up a bug. I thought that was very smart of them, considering what had just happened with the faction rallies. Then they jump into the raid reward program, as they were talking about how they're going to be changing up how we get weapons and armor in the raids, and then as far as raid mods. And so they kind of go into a little bit about that. As far as the raid mods go, they show us a quick little glimpse of a hunter cloak here with the mod called the Emperor's Blaze, and the mod says, while on the Leviathan, slower abilities deal 25% more damage. Now that's pretty cool, and there's a little glimpse of an arc and a void one as well. They also say that another perk would be to recharge your grenade when you activate your super, and you can deal an extra 20% damage after getting a melee kill, as opposed to tying the mods to specific mechanics within the raid. They are also changing the different raid encounters, and how sometimes you go through the raid and you clear an encounter, you don't get anything, or you get 3 tokens and a shader, or 2 shaders and 3 tokens. It's a bunch of nothing that players really don't like. So they changed it to where every large encounter will drop something. You're going to get either a piece of armor, or you're going to get a weapon, and that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. Then they go and tell us about how the raid vendor Benedict will then be selling raid armor and weapons, much like Zavala, Shaxx, and Lord Saladin. Now, I don't think Benedict's going to be selling every single weapon and everything. It's going to be similar, at least in my opinion. I believe it's going to be much similar to the way that Zavala and Shaxx work. Every day or every week, it'll be a different weapon, and I don't believe you'll be able to get any weapons that you would get from boss encounters. Be that the Midnight Coup from Callus, or I believe you can get the grenade launcher from Argos, or the shotgun, or whatever it is. That's pretty cool. They make it to where you don't necessarily have to grind the full raid consistently every single time, but if you're looking for a specific weapon, like myself, I'm still looking for Sins of the Past. Damn you, rocket launcher. You can essentially go and buy it when Benedict has it, but you still need to do the raid in order to at least get the tokens. Then they go on to tell us about an exotic raid ghost called the Contender's Shell, and it looks pretty cool. I kind of dig that look. They tell us that it's going to have a couple of pretty cool perks. First one called the Seeker of Brilliance, which enables the chance for encounters to drop bright engrams from their loot. Basically, every time a bright engram doesn't drop, they will essentially increase the chance for the next time. And then the next one would be the Seeker of Opulence, replacements, which means that exotics have a 50% chance to pull from a list of exotics that you haven't collected yet. So say you haven't gotten hard light yet, when you complete something on the raid and you get an exotic to drop, there's a 50% chance that it will pull that hard light because you don't have that yet. And then lastly, they threw in what's called Seeker of Glory, which provides a tracker for the number of counters you have defeated on the Leviathan. So then they go on to actually detail the actual patch notes, where they're going to be finally patching Prometheus Lens. They are fixing an issue where if you create a new character after Curse of Osiris, you weren't receiving the Flashpoint milestone. They've made it to where heroic strike completions will now have a greater chance of granting an exotic reward. And, they fixed a couple other things. Mercury challenges are now available during adventures, fixed an issue where challenges were not appearing in quick play, and a couple other smaller things. And then at the end here, they decided to talk about the shader system. Now, a lot of us have had a huge issue with dismantling shaders. A lot of people have, hundreds of one specific shader and hundreds of another, and so I like to just delete a whole stack of those shaders, and they go into a little bit of an explanation as to why they're having an issue with it. And basically they say that shaders are individual items, and individual items trigger individual reward bundles when dismantled, even when those rewards are simple. And they said that it creates a challenge for us that we haven't yet addressed, which is triggering dozens or hundreds of reward bundles simultaneously when an entire stack of shaders is dismantling. So basically it seems like they're having a hard time getting the system to differentiate between dismantling 1 and dismantling 100. They said that they can relatively easily fix it just by mapping a quick dismantle all to like a left trigger or L2 and X, or L2 and A on an Xbox controller, just to delete a full stack. But they say that that's not the spirit of what players are asking for, so they're looking for a stronger solve. In addition, we're also looking how to address other shader feedback. We missed the Destiny 1 armor shader mechanic, so they're looking for ways to reintegrate that capability without losing the ability to shade weapons, ghosts, ships, sparrows, or customize specific pieces of armor. They said that they also understand that we want shaders to be more freely usable and not limited to just availability. So they're looking at reintroducing shader collections, or a way to get copies of a shader in your possession. Now, I think that's pretty cool. I think it would be very interesting to kind of bring back Eva Levante, who was the sales lady of shaders and emblems. So I think it'd be pretty cool to bring her back and kind of take that whole portion of your vault space, as far as like the collections thing, and just send it back to her. And maybe she would have like a cool little book or something she could flip through the pages, like as a quick little animation. I don't know, something like that. Then they reveal that they're going to have another episode of the webcomic series about the fall of Osiris. So if you're interested in that, you can go ahead and take a look at that there. They go on to tell us at the very end, that there's going to be a downtime where the Destiny 1.1.2 update will become available after completion. So they said at around 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, that players in Destiny 2 activities will be returned to the title screen, and they're saying around 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time that the scheduled maintenance is scheduled to complete. And then that's when patch 1.1.2 will be available to download. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments about the whole This Week at Bungie. Let me know what you think about the Masterworks, the raid armor perks, Iron Banner, pretty much anything you want to talk about. And if you enjoyed this video, a like would be super appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for all things chocolate milk. And until then, drink more chocolate milk. Take care, everybody.